This will be another exhilarating off-road adventure at the Rolls. That's near Saguaro Lake, just east of Phoenix, Arizona. Now today there's 4 UTVs or side-by-sides. There's 2 Segway Villains. I'm driving one. Larry is driving the other. Plus Colin is back with his 4-seater Polaris RZR Turbo S. And we have a new person with us today. Actually 2 people. Harry and his friend Dave in Harry's Can-Am XRC Turbo. Now, the Rolls has trails with difficulty ratings ranging from 2 to 9 out of 10. We're going to explore some of the best off-roading spots without pushing our machines or us beyond our limits. So today that means 7 out of 10 is our max difficulty. There'll be desert climbs and descents, but we're going to limit it to around 28 degrees. That will ensure everyone's safety while enjoying the breathtaking desert views. This adventure wouldn't be complete without a visit to the Salt River or Saguaro Lake beaches, where we'll have a shady cove for a refreshing lunch break. There's trees here. In this video, we're going to review a couple of essential summer accessories for our UTVs, which includes my Super ATV flip windshield and MSC dual overhead fans. First trail out of the parking is 1804, and the very first sign we see reminds us that we need a permit. Make sure you have it. You do not want a ticket. I'm not a morning person, but it's hot today, so it's 9 a.m. and here we go. And look, we didn't get very far at all, and we already found other people coming in, obviously trying to beat the heat. But it also reminds us that we have to be very careful out here. You do not want a head-on collision. That's gonna hurt. For those of you who have seen some of the videos I've put out, you know I like to go fast when it's safe. Down here, I've already established there's other vehicles, so I'm taking it easy until I get up on a ridge or somewhere where I have better visibility and I'm confident nobody's around. I've been spoiled by coming out later in the day when I'm wide awake, and as it turns out, everyone else has gone home. Here I am starting up a hill thinking, it's almost to the point where I'll be able to take off, but I'm not on the ridge yet, and look at that, here comes someone. Well, now that we're on a ridge, I do have somewhat better visibility, but still not great, so I'm maintaining a safe pace, and we're turning onto 1805. Won't be long, we'll be heading down off here. We not only have better visibility for looking for others out here playing from the ridge, but check out the views. What a great way to start the day. Here's a good reminder of what I'm talking about looking from when you're up high. Off to the right down in the valley, there's a vehicle, and we're going to actually cross paths with them at the bottom of this descent. At the bottom, it's obvious they hadn't seen us, but they were definitely paying attention, slowed down, backed up, and let us out. Very polite. And of course, I held up 3 fingers, showing that there were 3 machines behind us. That's the way you communicate out here. So we turned right on 1863, drove right past these 2 trucks at a nice slow pace, keeping the dust down. It's the polite thing to do. If you want more details about any of my videos, in the description beneath the video, there's the word more. Click on it, it will expand out. There is a ton of information down there, including which trail we're on, turn left, turn right, all that kind of info. So we made several turns out here. I'm not sure exactly where we're at this point, but that's a fun climb in front of us. I'm looking forward to going up it and see what's on the other side. Remember, if you want to know which turn to take next, look at more under the description. What was waiting at the top? Well, a terrific view, of course. If you look in the distance, that little pointy object, that is Weaver's Needle. Now, we're doing this ride in a clockwise direction, so we're going to go way out and then come back along the water. Since the forecast is 99 degrees and it may be even a little bit warmer, I thought we should have all the fun adrenaline type stuff at the beginning of the ride and then hit the water on the way back, because as it gets hotter, we'll have the water to cool us down a little bit, and then we can just quickly head back and load. This is such a fun climb now. I've done it a few different times. Months back, my friend Gary and I, he's the Canadian guy with the tipsy 50-inch Can-Am, I put my second camera on the back of his vehicle and was following him up so he could record me while I recorded him. I did a terrible job of attaching it, and near the top, in the worst part of this climb, it fell off. I didn't see it in the dust, drove over it, pretty much destroyed it, but it did record its own demise. And I gotta say, GoPro was great. It was my fault, but they still replaced my camera. And then, of course, I bought their insurance and stuff, so I'm covered now. Anyway, on the left side, like I'm going up, this is a 7 out of 10. If you go up on the right side, it's smoother, and that's a 5 out of 10. It is a lot of fun. So over the radio, I asked everyone to wait at the bottom until I got to the top and got out and got positioned with the cameras so I could record their adventure coming up. And I mean, look how beautiful it is out here. This is just stunning. Well, Colin was impatient. He couldn't wait. It was just too much fun. He had to do it. So there's no video of Colin, but look who we got coming up the hill. That is Harry driving, and Dave is nice and calm. What fun. Well, Larry's the last one to come up. I'm taking in the scenery, and then I see there he is, and he's got a nice pace as he's coming up. It looks like he's having a good time. Let's zoom in and slow it down a little bit and see what's going on. Well, you can see the wheels are, one or more is lifting off the ground a little bit. It's slipping and sliding, but Larry's got it under control. I think he's just having a very good time. What do you think? I find the slow-mo and zoom-in feature of the editing software is really beneficial to seeing what's happening and helps me to learn. I love this feature. Now that we're on top of the ridge, we can see for a long ways, so some speed might just be safe. But keep in mind, there are some rises up here where you cannot see over them. So the best thing you can do is move over to the right so you don't have a head-on. I'm still learning Onyx, the GPS mapping software, getting better at it, and I'm learning the rolls. I know the trails, a lot of them parallel each other, and of course you can cut across a ridge and drop into a different valley. So sometimes, even though I have everything mapped out in my description, and that was my planned route, I get out here, I'm excited, I'm having fun, I miss a turn sometimes because I'm having too much fun. Sometimes I do it on purpose. I'm looking at the map and I'm looking where I am, and I say, well, this is a shortcut to where we want to be. Let's hang a turn here. So if you see some different trail numbers in the video from the map, from my directions, that's why. The good news is all the trails are fun. Some are just more fun than others. All right, we're back on the planned route. I don't know how long we're going to manage to stay on it, but we're going to have fun no matter where we end up. And this is a great spot for a short burst of speed. Well, once again, having way too much fun on this ridge, came to this intersection, and I do remember I looked over to the right and I said, I wonder where that road goes. Well, that's where I had mapped that I was supposed to go. We went left. This is a fun way anyhow. I've actually come on this trail before, and I'm kind of glad I made a mistake and went left instead of right, because the view from up on top of this ridge before we head down is just amazing. So yeah, we had to take a break right here. So we're getting better about getting out of the trail when we stop, because when we first parked, I pulled over, I remembered, and then I helped everybody else remember. Do not block the trail. Somebody else might come by. And look at the beauty up here. This is just phenomenal today. All the backlit, Weaver's Needle. Well, and out here, we're going down there. That's where the water is, Salt River. And we came from out there. That's the parking lot hill out there. So we're heading down off the ridge towards the water, and I thought this would be a nice opportunity to have Colin go out in front, and we could watch the articulation of his vehicle, check all the cool things that happen on a rough trail, as well as the beautiful scenery in front of us. So I asked Colin not to go too fast so that I'd be close enough that you would see these details. Only Colin was having way too much fun today, so let's see how this turned out. Well, that was an exciting moment and a lot of fun to watch. So I didn't realize just how much the wind was blowing, which is why even though it was really hot, we were all quite comfortable. You know, I have that Super ATV windshield open. My fan, I'll talk more about that when I'm going slow. I could have been closer to him, but I'm accustomed to staying further back because of the dust. Turns out that wasn't really an issue today. Now bear in mind, Colin does have a turbo, so if he really wanted to walk off from me, I'm pretty sure he could do it because I only have 1,000 cc's. But the Villain is a pretty amazing machine, handles rough terrain really well, and accelerates quite quick. But anyway, I think we were both having way too much fun. Alright, this should get us back on the route that I had planned. So many trails with hills to climb, hills to go down, views when you're on the top. It is just way too much fun, and look, there's the water. We're getting close. According to Onyx, we're really close to the water, and here was a turn to the left through the brush, and there is definitely water back here, but this is not the place for lunch. There's absolutely no shade. Back on the trail, up onto the ridge, and we're looking for another way to get down to the next bay, or cove. So we found another left turn down to the water. Again, another less than desirable spot, so time to turn around and keep looking. Back to the ridges, a little more fun, and then we come down into the wash through some brush, and there's our lunch spot. This is a great spot for lunch, nice and cool, fantastic view in the shade on a hot day, and just a slight breeze. It was perfect. It was a little longer probably than we should have stayed, but it was just too nice, and we're all talkers. It is rare someone comes on a ride with me that is not a talker. I know I am. So the fun began just as soon as we started out of the trees from the water. It's an immediate uphill, great climb onto a ridge top, moving fairly slow, which meant plenty of engine heat, and I had that MSC dual overhead fan on the driver's side just running full speed ahead, blowing all that hot air out. It was great. I was super comfortable, and you got to remember it's almost 100 degrees out there, plus whatever it was inside from all that engine heat. We decided we wanted to see the water at least one more time before we headed back into the heat. It's a little tricky, so let's see what we pull off. It looked like Harry's GPS had a better handle on which trail to take and turns to make, so he went off in front, and we were all following Harry. And Harry took us right to this beautiful spot, and you can see there's some vehicles back here that I'm pretty sure came on an easier path than we did, but we're not looking for easy, we're looking for fun. And we would have stayed here longer, but like I said, it is nearing 100 degrees out here. We need to get back, get loaded, and go to air conditioning. We're back on ridge tops, going down to the wash, back up to more ridge tops. We're working our way across, trying to have as much fun as possible on the way back, but we're ready to get out of the heat. Thank goodness for that flip windshield and my fans. It made the day quite comfortable. Larry took the lead for a short distance to get us back on the adventure route and not on some slow, boring route that was too easy. This was way much more fun. Well, that's it for this recording. Use the comment section below if you want to share your experience at this location, or maybe recommend an area that you really enjoy. Please keep it clean. I want this to be a family-oriented channel, so review what you type before you submit it. Thanks. I apologize if you happen to hear something during the ride's recording that may not sound family-oriented. I will try very hard not to let certain words slip out during an exciting moment. We'll see how that works. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, please hit the like button below. Share the link with your friend. Be sure to subscribe so you can easily keep up with my latest videos, which will continue to cover things like Segway Villain owners' area of interest, reviews of accessories, where to ride, tips about the Villain, how-to videos, and lots more. Yep, there's going to be more. Thanks for watching.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Good day. Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Did you have fun? Would you do it again?
Oh hell yeah, every day.
Did we get lost?
Always.